The views and opinions on The Craig L. Hayes Show do not necessarily reflect those of Westgate Resorts, ownership, or management. And now, on with the show. This is The Craig L. Hayes Show.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're on episode number 4 with TJ Reach and his time here in show business from New York to Florida to California to Nevada and Las Vegas. So, what was it like when we brought Barry back again? Did you? It wasn't as big. I mean, this time you were in charge of the rigging crew, where Leo had been in charge of it on the first run.
Yeah, it was. And you know, I walked into this one day. I didn't have any idea what was going on. You know, I just knew that we were coming to put Barry in, and pretty much they told me gave me, you're gonna need some guys. You know what I mean? So I put some guys in, and at that time, I can remember I couldn't get anybody because it was so busy in town. I don't remember what was going on, but I mean, everybody I knew that I usually worked with on all these shows were busy. They were, and I couldn't find, so I was begging for people. But anyways, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't get a look at the pre-production or the prams or nothing. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what that proceeding was going to look like. And all of a sudden, I got in, and we're going to do this. And what? What? How are we going to do this? Yeah, and but we managed. We got it done. It was quite the feat. Those motors where they were located, but we got it done. So, like always,
Well, the main thing on that one was we didn't have 3 months; we had 3 weeks.
Yeah, and that especially that pass around. It was for me. It was, it was.
That was a hard one.
It was tough.
Yeah, that was one that they signed towards the end of the previous year, and we only had literally 3 or 4 weeks to load it in, rehearse it, and get the show open because it was in January. In January, what is it in January? It's always CES. It's always all these big shows. Everybody's busy. I couldn't get people. You couldn't get. I mean, that we got it open in 3 weeks and stuff was amazing.
It really was.
Because I couldn't find people. You couldn't find people. We were both like, you know anybody? No, I don't know anybody. Everybody is busy.
Yeah, exactly. And it was such last minute too. I mean,
yeah, and because we didn't.
When I got the call on it, it was, I needed more than a week out to do that. To get the people because they were all already booked and
yeah,
they had things they've been doing for years and responsibilities and. Because I had guys, I put together some pretty big shows and big crews, with riggers. But on this one, and I needed specialty guys, people that could climb, rope access, things like that. Because where the motors were located, and I couldn't find anybody. So it went a little slower than they wanted, but we got it in.
We got it. We got it in in
a few days. What was it? 4 days? I think it took us 4 or 5.
Yeah.
At the most.
Yeah, and you found a couple of the guys. Those,
we worked it out. The guys that I got, I hadn't worked with before, but come to find out, we got it in. We got it going.
They were able to do it, yeah.
Yep.
And it happened. And,
Yep.
and it was like that on stage, too, because a lot of the people I would have used, it was one of those things, we knew it was coming in, and we all knew this, but I hadn't been given a date. Okay, this date we're going to start loading in because they were still building everything. They were still putting it together because, it was literally sign the deal. They sent off, the designer sent his stuff off to the place to build the sets, to build everything and all this. And they had no time saying, okay, it's going to be ready on this date. All of the stuff you guys are for the show is going to be ready on this date. And so by the time we got that, yeah, everybody was busy. So, it is what it is. The show must go on. And it does. And it just makes a little bit of aggravation where you're trying to get it in on time, give plenty of rehearsals because Barry likes his rehearsal time.
Yeah, he sure does.
He likes to rehearse and he likes to make sure his show is ready to go. And every day past, when they want you done so he can start rehearsing, cuts into his time. So it cascades. But we did it. the show came in just a little over 3 weeks, and we made it happen.
I did the load-in on the fly rail too, didn't I?
Yeah, the fly rail was a lot less
Yeah, it wasn't that much, but
because the only thing that flew was the
oh, that's right. Those few pieces.
the couple pieces, the video walls. So, yeah, yours was basically video walls.
I was here for all that. I remember now.
Yeah, and the portal,
Yeah.
his big am, the big am.
Yeah.
So that was the main part of his show right there. And no, it was, but there's a lot to do.
Yeah, there was. Always is.
Yeah,
You know, I've been involved with them where they go right to the, you know, the last very minute, and sometimes even longer than that because, you know, you got things you don't have time to rehearse it. You know, you got things that you got to work out. You know, kinks and, you know, and that's what happens. You know, I mean, who knows who's to blame on it sometimes, but you know that's just the way it is. You know, it always seems time on any show is of the you know we load them in and real quick and they go out just as fast. You know,
Yep.
that's or faster.
Well, I used to teach that class on stagecraft, and I used to tell everybody every show closes. Some last one night, some last 25 years.
Yes, boy,
How long they last is how popular they are, period.
you don't ever have you one of the longest people I know that had a job for so long. You know what I mean? In this business, you can't count on that. That's not the norm. You know, I've always been involved with everything. It's only been who knows? I might be there for a few years, but that's. You know, it wasn't until the last couple of years of my career that I got the full-time job over here, you know, and other than that, I was always on call, on the bounce, you know. So,
Some people like that. Some people,
you know,
some people like to have a little bit more of a stability or whatever. But
I liked it. It worked out good, you know, but I mean, I couldn't believe it was right at the end of my career, you know. I didn't get it until then.
you finally got a job.
Yep. Then I gave it up because I wanted to retire.
Yeah.
But I was, traveling back and forth from Arizona.
Yeah, it gets old. All that stuff gets old doing it an hour down, an hour back.
It was this career though. I've never been sad that I got into it. You know, I was telling you before. I don't know how many other jobs I would have had where I could have been as motivated to get out of bed and go to work. I never had a problem doing that. You know, I was always there, and you know, that could at least be said. You know, I tried other things in between, as I told you, in the contractor. I worked for a while and doing that kind of work. I had a tough time, you know. That's why I had left it, and it was tough to get up, you know. But this work, anytime I'm involved with it, even knowing what I had to go in and do sometimes, still, you know, and because it is something different all the time. You know, you might be doing the same thing, but it's different.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's something that has been important to me. I couldn't do the same thing, you know, work in a factory and do the same thing or something like that. No way. I'd have never made it.
I don't think I would have either. You know. And granted, doing production shows like doing a Starlight Express, you did the same show for 4 years. The show never changed.
No.
But what was fun was doing on our nights off, we would do concerts.
I don't know how you got a concert in there.
Well, it wasn't easy, but we did a concert every Friday night just about.
I don't know how you did it. Look, when I come in and saw all that stuff in there, I don't know how you had anybody in here besides that show.
Yeah. Well, the downstage part of the show was still quite large. So, we did everybody from Hall & Oates to all these country acts, you name them. We did all that stuff down there, even with the skate track there on every Friday night. Just load in and load out was not much fun going up and down all those ramps and taking stuff.
Gosh, I can only imagine.
It was work. I mean, that was real work, but we did it. And that was, this was a high-paying room for a long time for all of us. Yeah. Let me see, what else have we worked? Oh, we did Steve Wyrick. You did Spot on that, right?
No, I was on the fly floor.
Were you on the fly? Was it?
Yeah, I was.
It was the other one that Jerry was doing. Jerry did the.
Yeah, I was on Wyrick. I did the fly floor.
That was.
Might have been me and Jerry. I don't know, but I know I was on the fly floor.
I know you were there for Dirk.
Yeah.
Steve, magic shows are always
I've been here in this hotel on call for
a long time.
How long? When did Barry load? Before Barry loaded in.
Yeah.
When we did the Starlight, whenever the year that was, I've been here ever since. So I've worked in and out of this place for, you know. And I enjoy this place. I enjoy this room, you know, always did, you know.
Yeah, I intended to come here for about 10 years. I figured I'll give that about 10 years. I'd been at Splash for 6 years or something like that. And I go, I'll stick around for about 10 years, you know. Yeah, I never thought I'd be here 30. Holy crud.
You know, I've never had that thought in my life of being anywhere for 10 years, you know, on a job. I never walked into a place like, even when I took Smith Center or anything like that, I never said, I'm going to be here 10 years at least. I was like, you know, I've seen people that can do that and do that. I've never entered my mind because I've just had so many experiences with it. It's here, it's gone. It's here. I do so many shows that way, you know, that I can imagine working someplace that long.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's there was times I was wondering how much longer I was going to go, and then they'd book a really good, bunch of shows, and I was like, I can go longer, you know, because there's an ebb and flow to the showbiz stuff, you know. Sometimes it's really, you got tons of stuff going on, so it's really enjoyable to do it, and sometimes it's a grind just to,
A lot of shows in this place. I mean,
yeah,
we had Daytime Emmys. Remember that show?
big stuff, yeah. The Liberace movie, that was a lot of work, that one.
I wasn't involved in that one. I was when I was at Smith Center.
That one was so much work on that one. Put the room back, just about completely back to the 70s. You know, it's beyond belief what we can do. So observations, changes. We're going to last about 10 minutes on this episode here. We can.
Well, it sure has changed. This business here has changed. And it's lackluster at the end of my career here. It's really not. I just noticed it's not the same thing for me anymore. I don't know if it's because I've been doing it for so long or, you know, the different things involved with it now, and there's more corporate involved with these. You know, they get their hands in it, and it seems like, I don't know. I don't know what to put the finger on and what to blame because there's some good and bad with everything, you know, and, but it sure has. I mean, in the beginning when I got inside, I had, you know, and by the time I got out, it's people, there's just a different attitude backstage, and it seems to me, you know, than it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, that could be just me, you know, but it's not the same.
No, I'm not expecting everything to stay the same as it was when I first came into the business, but yeah, it's changed quite a bit over the years, and I don't know. I don't know. Like you say, are we jaded a little bit from many shows?
Maybe, you know, maybe.
I started adding it up, and I'm like at about 18,000 shows.
You know what? I couldn't even. I tried to before I did this podcast. I thought, well, let me think. What shows have I done? I don't remember. You know, there's been so many. I mean, a lot of times I was at the Aladdin there, but we did a lot of shows. You know, I mean, one-offs. You know, I was at Caesars for a while. I did shows over at Caesars. You know, I mean, I've been involved in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't. 18,000. I wouldn't be surprised if I, you know.
Gotta be somewhat similar,
You know, maybe not quite as many, but I mean, you know, close.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, big names. You know, most of them. You know, I can't. When people say, "Yeah, I worked that show. I worked that show." Yeah. You know, when people mention it, I remember when they were doing it. You know.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, you know, if you do a production show back in the day, like we were doing, you would do 10 shows a week or 12 shows a week. Mm-hmm. And so you're doing 500 a year just on that show, not including the other shows that you did, you know, on days off and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you counted them that way, I would think that maybe I've done that many.
Yeah. And that's what I did. I was just counting how many times I did shows, you know, and you know, did I don't know, like 4,000 alone at Splash, you know, and did 2,500 here on Starlight Express. So, you know, right now you're already heading towards 7,000 before you even start anywhere else that you've done anything. So it adds up quick, you know, and it goes by quick.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I tell the guys now, you know what I mean? You know, oh, I wish I was retired. You know, I said, buddy, you get there faster than you think.
Yeah.
You get there faster than you think, you know. You blink your eyes when you're there, you know, especially last 10 years. I don't know. It just, you know, I woke up and I'm here, you know. And
I'm going to do a podcast tomorrow morning with a couple guys. When I came into the business, they're, somewhere around 10 years to 17, 18 years older than me. And I looked at those guys as being, a lot older and such. And I'm going to do a podcast tomorrow with Al Bash and Pat Bash.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. That's going to be great. I mean, I'm a kid. I'm 18, just came out of high school. Here I am, stagehand apprentice, building Jubilee. And these guys are already established and doing, all kinds of stuff. And I look back and go, but we're all retired. They're a lot older than me. So
I'm newly retired, so
I didn't think I'd ever retire. Because, you look at it when you're 18, you go, I ain't ever going to retire. Geez, that's too far down the road. Yeah.
I never thought I'd make it.
And all of a sudden, it's like, well, today's my last day.
But hey, I saw Nathan make it, so I knew dang well I could do it.
Oh, yeah. He just had to get a new liver is all to make
That's
it.
all. Love that guy.
Yeah, and we've lost a bunch of really good guys over the years. Rich O'Neill and these guys. It's just so many.
Yeah, it goes on.
And and then somebody's gonna say that about us one day.
But I could still work. I
You're
can
in
still
good
work.
shape too. I am
I
too.
can work, but because that's one of the reasons, convince me while I can. Who knows when that day, I don't know. But you watch all these other fellows, go close to you and, maybe healthier than you are. And, so it's time.
Yeah. Get in and enjoy every minute of it.
Exactly.
For all you youngsters, get in there and enjoy every minute of it because it's going to come and go so fast. And
The next generation a chance to.
yeah, get out of the way and let these youngsters take over and step out of the way and let them have at it. They need their chance at it too.
I agree.
But anyways, anything else you want to say to anybody? And like Merry Christmas.
Hope I
Happy
didn't
New
bore
Year.
anybody too badly there.
No, these I think are so instructive, TJ. I really do. It's just.
I'll take any questions from out there. Anybody?
Oh, the phone's broke. It
Okay.
doesn't work, so.
But thanks for having me. Yeah.
Oh no, thanks for coming in. That's appreciate you coming in, and like I say, hey, let's get together. Let's talk with Leo and find a time where both you and I and him can sit down. I think that'll be a hilarious one.
I think we've worked a lot together, me and Leo. We've had some times, so.
I'll have to warn everybody and say this one could turn into an R-rated show. It might,
it would
it
be
might get a little crazier
Might
on
be
this
something.
one.
It's probably a hell of a lot more extreme than this one is, So.
It's
I would think Leo remembers everything too, man. He's got quite a good memory.
he was doing pretty good on it.
Yeah.
But he's like the rest of us. He's forgetting some of the stuff that you do so many. It's like how are you supposed to remember all the?
Oh, you
I can't remember 18,000 shows.
I've done shows I don't even know what the heck it was. You just did them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of shows that I didn't even write down when I started writing down the shows I've done because I couldn't remember who they were. I could see them. I go like the Shaolin monks that we did here one time. They did their whole show and all these different shows. And it's like I didn't write those down because I didn't. I was like, oh, that's right, we did those shows. So, anyhow, this has been a great day so far. I've had two guys that I've really enjoyed being around and working with over the years. And next up is going to be my brother. He's coming, Scott. Yeah, he's going to come in, and we have quite a similar early childhood raising up in the business,
I would think so. Yeah.
and then went different ways into the business. So, but yeah, that'll be a fun one too.
Good.
Get some history from family on that. Anyways, everybody, thanks for being here for this. And we'll stand by for the next version of shows we're going to be doing here at the Westgate Resort Las Vegas in Elvis Presley's dressing room in the International Theater. And until then, Talbot, take it away.
This is the Craig L. Hayes Show.